Budget devices are getting good and it depends on what you need and if that device can deliver on the aspect you bought it for. And that is why the Tecno Camon 19 Pro I have been using for the past 2 months falls into the category by doing some things great and purposely forgetting to improve on some parts.
Okay, so this phone actually won an IF award, even before it was released. But after seeing it in real life, to be honest, it was deserved. But that's my opinion, because some people have said it's ugly. It's a pretty tall phone, it's thin, so your hands sort of wrap around it. It's got square sides, so 2022 standards. The frame is made of plastic, and so is the back, except the back is a matte finish and the frame is a bit glossy. The phone stands out because of those two huge camera rings, and like I said before, you either like it or not. There are 3 colors available. This is the Echo Black color, and you might have already seen the special edition Mondrian color, which, changes color when the sun hits it. Pretty cool. But this black one has a shimmery finish to it, so it's also nice. I've used this for over a month now and it has held up pretty well. It doesn't have an IP rating though, so if this drops in water, you're not exactly safe. So I think other than the lack of an IP rating and the size of this phone, I do think it's a well-designed, well-built phone. Design is an 8.5 out of 10.
Aside from the design, which I really like, especially the Mondrian edition, when you put it in the light it changes color. The other thing I like about this device while using it was the 120Hz high refresh rate, but not the panel, which is LCD, because I can't justify why they are using it at this price point. To be honest, it isn't given, especially when the Note 12 VIP by Infinix offers an LED display, and I have been spoiled by it during my usage, which makes the display of the Tecno Camon 19 Pro unexciting while using it daily. Not to forget, the bezels are not even noticeable except for the big fat chin below. There is really no difference in performance since we have already had this chipset on the previous series of Camon line, specifically on the Camon 18 Premier. Occasional frame drops while gaming on the Helio G96 chipset, and possible heating after gaming for more than an hour. We get enough storage for a device below $200k or $300, which is 256GB, even with installing most large file games and screenshotting the whole internet. There is more than enough space to store photos for me and my partner, which I don't have.
Now this is the phone to get in the Camon 19 series because it has the best setup. A 64 megapixel main camera, a 50 megapixel telephoto, and we have a 32 megapixel selfie camera. If you didn't know this already, Tecno actually worked with Samsung to develop that main camera. It's actually the first 64 megapixel RGBW lens. It also uses a crystal glass lens, which helps in delivering brighter images. The main camera looks pretty good when you give it good lighting. When I compared it to the Samsung Galaxy A53, it held up pretty well. It looked almost identical in some shots. If you're outside and you pull out this phone to take pictures, in my opinion, you really would be impressed. Portrait mode was also pretty impressive thanks to the 50 megapixel telephoto lens. That might actually be my favorite mode to shoot with. Night mode is present here, and this is where that main camera we talked about shines. I felt it was a pretty good representation of what my eyes were seeing. I definitely like them. Then there's the selfie camera. It's 32 megapixels and my guess is it's the same sensors that we saw on the Spark 9 series. So basically, they're quite good with good lighting. Video is also impressive, especially on that 50 megapixel telephoto. I was definitely impressed. It can shoot up to 2K in resolution, so no 4K, but we do have video stabilization, but only in 1080p resolution for both the rear and front facing cameras. I think videos are okay, but I kind of prefer photos.
See, if you want to enjoy this particular device, just customize it to your own taste, and you will forget that XOS 8.6 custom skin ever came with this device, because it isn't pleasing to use on a day-to-day basis, especially the X screen that shows X-rated content. Nothing really special about Android 12 it runs on, but if you get the 5G variant, you'll be sure of Android 13.
Battery life is subjective. I think it depends on how long you use your phone and what you do on it. As far as numbers are concerned, it comes with a respectable spec sheet. This comes with a 5000 mAh battery and a 33 watt quick charger in the box. It took me an hour, 30 minutes-ish to fully charge this, and it lasted me a whole day, with me listening to music, gaming for like an hour, and watching YouTube videos. So I know it sounds kind of boring, but battery life really depends on you and your usage patterns. But yeah, it should typically last you a day.
Even with some flaws in other departments, it backs stereo speakers like in Nigeria today going to a government-owned university just to back 6 months of strike, and the listening experience is really nice.